I think Cornell is a wonderful spot and truly special in my mind and the minds of so many other alumni and dedicated people who spend time at the university. I think what makes it special is based upon what I'll call the three phases that most people go through in their association with Cornell. First of all, at the university, you have a wonderful opportunity to meet fabulous people, fabulous professors, take courses in such a wide range of issues and topics, and to really come away from the university with a tremendous background. The second phase is as a recent grad, and there, both with your peers and other people that you're going to associate with, it's a great way to start your career and try and find out how and why you want to spend your life the way you choose with the skills you learned at Cornell. And finally, there's a third phase, and that's the one that I'm fortunate to be in now, and that's the phase when you can give back and make it happen for other people. It gives you an opportunity to enjoy that Cornell community one more time and renew friendships, make new ones, and give back to an institution you love. For an individual to have a successful work experience throughout their life, I begin with two suggestions. One is, think of what you do always as a career, not a job. Always be looking at not only what you're doing today, but what is that going to allow you to do tomorrow and the day after that. And then once you've selected a career path that you're going to try, focus. Work at it with diligence, think forward, develop new skills, read about your industry, read about what you're doing, get as many third-party inputs as possible, and focus to make yourself successful at that career. Young employees are always worried about, all right, what does their boss think? How are they going to get their career started? The things that I look for in a young person are, first of all, can they communicate well, both in the written word and in the spoken word? Are they effective communicators, and can they communicate their ideas? So then it's about those ideas. Do they have the ability to think logically through issues at hand? And can they apply what they learned in college, from other life experiences, whatever it may be, to think through those challenges that immediately face them? And are they going to be able to apply that in a situation that I, as the employer, am going to appreciate? And then finally, what I'm most impressed with is young people who are present, that when they're in the work experience, when they're in a meeting, when they're on a phone call, that they are present at the moment. There are not distractions. They're not trying to multitask. They are there appreciating what other people are saying, listening, getting prepared to communicate in an effective way, and able to deliver and do the best for the organization. Those are the young people that I find are going to have the best potential within my organization. No investment category is immune from cycles. And just as office and, let's say, retail are going through a phase now where they are suffering, industrial will have its day. And at some point in time, either because of the availability of too much capital or a sudden retrenching in the demands that our tenants have for space, and we're seeing some of that now, and just some extraneous activity that you could never imagine that may affect either macro markets or a micro market, you, as an industrial owner in my case, I'm going to be vulnerable to downturns just like all those other asset categories. Every investor is always looking for the next thing. And they're always looking for that asset class or specific asset that has not received investor attention yet, and therefore may hold an opportunity in the future for them to make outsized gains. And so I'll look at it in the eyes of two different kinds of investors. One is the small investor, you maybe as an individual entrepreneur. And I think in that instance, local and community small shopping, small retail centers are still underpriced. And if managed properly, you can build rents, build good value in those assets. For the institutional investors, I think it's much tougher. The one advice that I would have for institutional investors today is don't underestimate the potential impact of climate change. I think many coastal areas in the southeast and southwest today are either one hurricane away or one extended drought or one extended heat span from falling out of favor with investors. And to stay ahead of that, find those geographic areas that are going to have less vulnerability, less exposure to those sort of climate change issues.
All right. Last one and the fun one. Has anyone ever told you you look like Harrison Ford?
No, and thank you. And I don't have the quality of hats that he wears. So, but I appreciate the comment. Thank you.
We have a little bit of time. So
we have a little bit of time. You said that was the last question.
I know. Is there anything else you want to say to the students, the greater Cornell community? Any other piece of information that we missed in those 5 questions that you think is worth sharing?
No, just the one thing that I would encourage every student, that remember this place is about you. And whether you think your professors are a little out of touch or don't focus enough on you, or whether the administration seems to be out of touch, or whether the alumni aren't doing enough or the right things, whatever it is, ultimately, at the end of the day, we're all here to make your Cornell experience the best it can possibly be. And so if that's our half of the bargain, make sure you live up to your half. Provide the feedback, go to class, enjoy the experience, make some wonderful friends, become a friend of a professor, enjoy the experience for all that it's worth. You'll look back and cherish it forever.